you are catching the replay, definitely say hello as well. I shared this live, but I didn't really share it. Does that make sense? I shared it, but I didn't really share it that I was going to go live. But that's totally fine. So I don't know if anyone is going to show up live, but if no one shows up, that's fine. Definitely leave your comments down below because I want to talk to you guys. I want to engage with you guys. I want to know what's going on. So it is Zaylee Barclay. If you don't know who I am your video sales and marketing coach. And today we are covering some goodness. Hello, if you're here, say hello. Definitely let me know where you're from down in the comments. Hello, I see Facebook user. I'm not too sure who it is, but definitely put your name in there so I could say hi to you a little bit. But we're gonna get back on track. Let me just make sure that my hardwire is all the way plugged in and that we are going to have hopefully a seamless live, right? Hello, Keisha from the DMV. Hello, hello, hello. I'm so excited today, guys. I don't know what I'm so excited about, but we have some good stuff to cover. Before we get into it, I want to make sure and remind you guys that you can head over to startshootgrow.com, which really breaks down how you can use video and use it for creating long form video content and then breaking that down into micro content, right? I'm breaking up a bit on my end. I hope I'm not doing that on your end. Let me know if you can see me and hear me well. The other thing is we currently have our Confidence Camp going on. Super excited about that. It's starting March 8th to March 12th, 2021, whenever you're watching this video. But if this video is past that time, definitely still take a look at it because I'm going to drop some really good value. Whoop. My microphone is doing its own thing. So that's the beauty of live videos. You get to see all the craziness that happens on the back end if I was just recording by myself, right? So I am checking on my notes. Today we are actually talking about which is more important. And I know this is a question that a lot of people have, right? My Instagram is on fire right now. I'm getting a bunch of notifications for Instagram, so I'm gonna try to ignore them while I get through this content. But what's more important, guys? Relatability or your camera quality, right? And this is a good question. I actually got this question at the Six Figure Saints Summit. So I did a breakout session with those guys over there on Sunday. It was so bomb. I got to connect with so many beautiful women. So shout out to Isis Brianna for that amazing summit. So that breakout session was really good. I got some really good questions. Thank you, Cassandra. Thank you, CB. Thank you, Facebook user. I'm not sure who that is, but thank you. So listen, guys, that was such a good question. Like, what's more important, Zay? Is it being relatable on camera, or is it really important to just, have great camera quality? And so, what do you think my answer was? My answer was actually a few things. So we're gonna dive into those things today. So I would say actually, if I had to pick one between the two, who said a balance of both? And what do you guys feel? So Adifa said relatability. Somebody else said a balance of both. Okay, let me see. What else do you guys think? I want to know. I want to know. I want to know what you think. What do you think it is? I am going to say definitely somebody hit the nail on the head. A balance of both, but I'll tell you which one comes first. Adafi, I think is your name. Adafi, you are correct. Relatability, way more important. Right. So let's talk about it. I feel like if we had to pick one out of the two, relatability first. I am a believer of getting started, getting people to know you, getting people to love you, getting people to see if they vibe with you or not, because sometimes it's just not like that. And what we don't want to do when we're on camera is try to relate to everybody or try to be someone else. Right? So it's really about being yourself, but I love saying being the version of yourself that you know is here to show up and command that attention and, really starting to trust yourself and trust your growth process, right? So you're not going to feel like that when you first start, but you can. You got to really decide, listen, there's only one me. I am unique. I am beautiful. I have so much to offer to the world, and no one else has the things that I want to offer or share with the world, or no one has my exact gifts or my exact experiences. No, they are all different for a lot of people. And we kind of covered a lot about that in our Facebook group. We had an amazing series. You guys loved it. And if you're not in the Facebook group, you can do so by joining down below or heading over to startshootgrow.com, and you will be led there. But yes, so the thing about relatability is it actually helps you attract the right people. See, we're not for everyone. We are not for everyone, and everyone is not for us. And there is nothing actually wrong with that. So I want you to understand that that's completely okay, right? So if you did say relatability first, I agree with you. I feel like even when we look at IGTV lives, if someone is relatable or if they share something that is in alignment with something that we are going through, guess what? We're going to follow that person. We're going to tune into their journey. We're going to want to know what they're sharing. And we are going to consider them as an authority and somebody that I can go to if I want specific information about XYZ. Right? So that is really important. But there are some other things outside of relatability and camera quality. I'm also a believer of upgrading your camera quality, like when you really start getting your foot in the game. So when you start getting your foot wet, that's when I feel like you should upgrade. Because I'll tell you the honest truth, I know people that have a fancy camera and they're still not showing up. So if you can't show up with what you have, whether it's your phone is that you have, if you can't show up with that, you're not going to show up when you have a fancy phone, because there's a deeper issue in there. Either you don't know who you're talking to, you're still nervous about getting on camera, nervous about how you look, your physicalities, nervous about, things that really doesn't matter. And I think for us to push through that, we have to know who we're specifically speaking to, and we have to tap into our purpose and know that whatever you have to share is way bigger than the fears and the things that you are experiencing yourself. And also understanding that if you can share your journey step by step, that you'll start getting the confidence to keep on stretching that muscle and showing up, right? So that's something that's really, really important. And I'm seeing questions. If you have questions, we can definitely answer them after. So don't be afraid to leave your questions, and we will dive into them, right? So yes, Cassandra said that's the truth, because yep, that is really what it is. So the other thing is, number 2, you have to really figure out what your people are struggling with, and then that's what makes you relatable. Because if I know people are struggling with, let's say, growing an email list, I know the steps that I have to share with them in order for them to really grow that email list, right? So if you know what your people are struggling with, then you can tap into what that is actually stopping them from doing, right? Or example, last night I went live inside of my Facebook group and I shared, because I know my people are actually struggling with getting on camera, and probably reasons why they should get on camera. Like, you should get on camera, but last night I gave 3 tips inside of the Facebook group to help you understand what you're missing out in business growth if you're still scared to get on camera, right? So if you're comfortable with being left behind every year, and that's just the realness of it all, then you don't have to think about those things. But if you are feeling that discomfort and that need or call for growth, then you know that it is something that is not an option. You know it's something that you needed to do, right? So that's really, really important. But as it pertains to understanding what your people are struggling with, you can then come in and share your genuine feelings, thoughts, tips, tricks, all of those things around it. Because guys, the way that I grow an email list is different from the way that somebody else grows an email list, right? The traffic source that I love and depend on, somebody else uses another traffic source, right? For me, my traffic source is video, and your business is nothing without a traffic source. And if we get into traffic sources a little bit more, what happens is, back in the day when we had physical spaces, we actually had, people would pay extra rent to be on the main street or the main road. That's because all of the traffic was flowing that way. People would walk that way, whether it's by public transportation. I used to live in New York City. So if you are living around somewhere where it has a train station, that means the real estate around that train station is prime real estate because people are taking the train all the time. Right? So that's how I want you to think about traffic. Now, what happens is you or the people who are there, their businesses have more traffic and is making more money, hence the rent, right? Because they are in a place where traffic is guaranteed, right? Hello, good night, everybody. So that's how I really want you to think about traffic and traffic sources. And now for us business owners that are online, what we have to do is put ourselves in a place where there is traffic. Right? So I want you to think of social media as the main street. And the way that you attract your traffic is by using things like we learned in our 3-day intensive inside of the Facebook group. If you're not in there, because I'm streaming on YouTube as well, join the Facebook group down below. But what happens is in the internet streets, like I like to say, what happens is you use SEO or search engine optimization or keywording, things like that to be a part of the traffic that's going on in your industry. And that is super important. Right? Now, amongst the traffic that's going on, you don't want to be that store that doesn't have a big bright neon sign. You don't want to be the store that has nothing in front of it. You don't even know what's on the awning or what's going on inside of the store. You don't want to have to come into the store to know what problem is going to solve for you. You don't want to know, you don't want to tell me if you know those stores, like funny, because I used to live in Brooklyn, New York, and I can think about so many stores that I can tell that it was a difference in the traffic the other stores were getting because the other stores had, yes, I don't know who said that, but yes, you're catching me live. The other stores had neon signs. They had signs of, especially if it's food, girl. They had like all the pictures of the food on the front, like stuck to the window. Whereas there were other stores that didn't have any of that stuff. And you would have to kind of wonder like, what is this store? Right? So that's how we use SEO and keywording in the online space, right? That's like you helping the person find you. Now, this is the thing. When they find you, what's relatable about your content or what you're sharing? What is relatable about you? And the beautiful thing is that you can be yourself and the right people will be drawn and attracted to you consistently. So I want you guys to think about it in that way. Think about relatability in that way. Right? Also, you have to really be clear and upfront about your core values. This is so important. And I'm going to share 2 good ones for the last one. So make sure that you're tuned in until we get off. But you really, really, really have to make sure that your core values are to the forefront. And so when I say core values, I mean things that you stand by, things that you believe in, kind of like your moral code. Those things are really important in helping people understand, do I relate to this person or not? Do I feel like this person is genuine? Do I feel like this person is in alignment with my beliefs and morals? Because honestly, like that has a part to play in the way that we purchase, in our buyer's decision. We buy from people that we know, like, and trust. If we don't like someone in the online space, we're not going to spend money with them. And that is a core part of what it's like when you're specifically selling on camera, right? So you got to remember that. Hello. I don't know who's saying hello because there's Facebook user there, but if you can put your name, I can definitely say hello to you because, you guys, my tribe knows how I rock. That's just me. I want to say hi to you guys. But that's really, really, really important. Sharing what you stand for, who you are. Don't be afraid to put elements like that into your content, right? That adds to the relatability of it all. Mind you, we have not spoken about camera quality just yet because relatability is way more important. And even if you start with content that's not that great, then I will tell you right now, or content quality that's not that great. So let's say it doesn't look how you want it to look, or meaning that it's not the most flawless video. What's gonna really help you is showing up consistently, right? I want you guys to think of this. There's this girl on YouTube called Kelly Stamps, and she started with the same camera that I used to vlog. So I have different cameras for different things, but Kelly has a Canon G7X. which is like, I think like $500, give or take. But I'm sure that the other vloggers in this space probably start with something else, or people start with their phones and you don't even know it's their phone because the content is so relatable. I know so many vloggers who use their phone to vlog, because if you have a phone to vlog, sometimes your phone quality is better than whatever camera you might have. Like, I don't use the camera I use to stream to vlog because it's too big and clunky, right? So the camera that I use to vlog right now, because I have a vlog channel as well, the camera that I use for that is the quality is actually less than my phone quality, right? So my vlogging camera does not have 4K, but my phone has 4K. So that's just showing you the difference. And honestly, you can easily raise the quality of your content with lighting, guys. Even though your camera is, or your phone is probably of an older model, get in tune with lights. Lighting can help you so much. Yes, Kelly Stamps is actually, amazing at what she does, and she's relatable. So her content and her editing are not like out of this world to me, but being that she tells her stories, and that's another thing that helps you be relatable. So we've watched her move from New York City, which she used SEO to rank for that first video, or the first set of videos that she got famous for in New York. Because it's a thing to move from New York. Move to New York and find yourself and XYZ. Yes, it's a thing, right? And then it's so crazy because I used to live in New York and I never thought about it like that. Anyway, so even when she left and she went to, I think it was back to LA, then she came back to New York, and then she went to Boston, and now she's somewhere else. Like, that's relatability, because people aren't really moving around like that. And she's sharing her dating life. She's sharing XYZ. Now, I will tell you, because my audience, the people that are here, it's a bit different, because we are focused on business and monetizing your channel in different ways aside from only Google AdSense, because I don't necessarily believe in only having Google AdSense as an income stream. So there are other things that, you have to think about, right? But yes, Chantilly, if you did not, I'm thinking because you have not said anything, you did not watch yesterday's video. So you need to watch yesterday's video inside of our Facebook group, ma'am. And so the other thing is, polarity, right? So consistency and polarity. And so even though that person asked about relatability, I brought in consistency and polarity, right? So relatability, consistency, and polarity are great. Polarity being pick a side and stand for something. If you feel like XYZ, it's faster to grow when you pick a side about something rather than not picking a side. Example of polarity. There are other online course platforms, but I choose and love Thinkific. Right? I've worked with them closely. I have an annual conference that we do every single year. I love their product to my core. So for me, that's polarity right there, telling you, well, guys, I like this instead of that. I prefer this instead of that. So what is your idea of polarity as it comes to your business? What do you choose? Today I had an amazing live with Jam Gamble. And she is really polarizing, and I love her for it, because there are things that she believes and things that, and she will share that, right? And so for us today, one thing that we didn't agree on was email lists. I believe you need to have one. She doesn't believe that you need to have one. And so that was polarizing, but that also made us relatable to the right people. So I want you guys to really think about being polarizing as well. I know a lot of times we feel like, well, I want everyone to like me, and it just does not work like that. You should not aim for everyone to like you. It's best if you're a bit disruptive, to be really honest. And if you don't know even what disruptive marketing is, it has a part to play in polarity, choosing something or standing 10 toes down for something that you really believe in, right? So guys, yes, I believe relatability is way more important than than having a fancy camera or having fancy equipment, because you could have that fancy camera and fancy equipment and come on and just, not connect with anyone. Relatability is the things that you are afraid to share, or the things that you are most timid about, or like, oh my gosh, I would never share that, or the things that are actually going to skyrocket what you are able to accomplish, to be really honest. So whatever you were struggling with, I remember the first time I spoke about having an accent. Like, my accent used to make me insecure with being on camera. And crazy enough, I saw someone put that in our Facebook group today in the poll. You can't let that keep you back, because I know how that feels, but I chose to still come on and actually share with you guys. So, things like that makes me relatable. And it's funny, whenever I say that, people are like, well, Zay, we love your accent. Right? So you got to remember that sharing the things, Suzanne, because I am, girl. We all go through the same things in different ways. But for me, you feel like I'm talking directly to you because I'm being relatable and I'm being honest. And I'm actually telling my genuine story, right? So this is genuinely how I feel, and genuinely the things that I go through. Or if I haven't gone through it, I've coached someone through it. So, yes, Adafi said, I come on for the Trini accent. Yes, darling, I love that you're here. And so many people do love it as well. But guess what? What if I made that the reason why I never shared my content, or never got on to either YouTube or Facebook, or never started to create videos because I felt like I don't like my accent? Not that I love my accent, but I live in the US, and a lot of times, sometimes people don't understand you if you have a strong accent, right? So that's initially what it was, and now I've gotten over that hump and I don't care. And so sometimes when I get excited, it comes right out, and or sometimes I just say what I have to say. So these are things that we have to think about, right? So I want you guys to really think about really being relatable. Like, what about you are things that you've been hiding that you can possibly use as a springboard, right? Hey, Siobhan. Yes. And I'm about to get off. And I wanted to come on and just talk to you guys today about being relatable, and how important that is. And when you start being relatable, you start being true to yourself and sharing in your truth, what happens is things start opening up. Opportunities start opening up. All amazing things start opening up. But I want you to keep these things industry specific. So if you are a nurse, I want you to think about, if you're a nurse sharing probably, let me see, how someone else can become a nurse or become a successful nurse, or study tips for RNs. I want you to think about the struggles that you went through when you were studying, and that would be something relatable to somebody that is looking up to you and trying to accomplish the same thing. So try to keep it industry. So if you're a coach, think about things that are probably insecurities that you had or have, or that your clients go through, that you can share with those people. And it's going to be so powerful for you in showing up and actually being found for something really specific. Right? So I wanted to come on and share that with you guys. And I want to remind you that we are closing registration. First of all, I have not let you guys know, if you have not signed up for Confidence Camp just yet, which is our boot camp, we are actually extending registration for the people who want that bonus repurposing workshop, where we're covering Descript and we're covering Capwing. Listen, you don't want to miss it. This is going to be the best thing that you've done in 2021. If you've been doubting getting on camera, you want to sign up for Confidence Camp. If you feel like you want to understand definitely how you can show up on camera for a specific show, I'm going to make sure that you have your business foundations laid. So in Confidence Camp, we are talking about things like email lists. We are talking about video setup. We are talking about things like connecting your product or service to your show, kind of like I do right now, right? Or a lot of other online business shows that you either listen to or watch are deeply connected to what I'm saying. So you want to make sure that you have a profitable online show and that you're attracting specific people. So we're covering all of those things, and you don't want to miss it. But yes, so that repurposing masterclass is only for people who sign up It's ending tomorrow. So initially we decided on Friday that we were going to end it, but we got so many replay viewers saying, Zaylee, is this bonus still available? So that bonus is disappearing tomorrow. And on Friday, the price of our class is raising. So if you want to learn more about it, definitely head over to startshootgrow.com. This will be the best thing that you do for your business in 2021, because getting on camera can help you to, I talk about traffic all the time, attract the right traffic. Definitely number two, build out your products and services, get more comfortable so that you can really attract the right people and sell them something that is really good, substantial, right? If you're thinking about online courses, digital products and all those things, you got to get on camera. And then after that, you want to be able to sell and launch those things. And getting on camera is the best way that you can do that. So let's be clear. I really, really, really want you guys to be able to have the right tools, resources, and understanding of how you can really build out a profitable platform for yourself, especially getting on camera, right? If you guys have any questions, thank you. I think that's Chantilly that said that. Hey, Shaka. Okay, and let me see. Okay, so I am actually going to answer a question that CB had. So CB, I don't know if you're here still, but you asked, how do I keep the glare off of my glasses? And I can do a better job at keeping the glare off of my glasses, because if I turn this way, you can still see my lights, right? Which means I would just need to bring my lights closer to the sides of me. But so usually if I'm not wearing glasses, I will have a ring light in front of me, right? I'm doing that because you guys are right here. But so because I have glasses on today, I don't have that ring light on. And so I just have overhead lighting. And I also have side lighting. So that side lighting prevents me from getting any glare. So just don't put don't put lighting directly in front of you, right? And that will help with the glasses glare. Or what you can do is probably just light one side of your face, right? So that is really how. And yeah, I hope this was helpful for you guys. I love you. I appreciate you guys for coming on with me. More than likely, I will be live tomorrow again at around 7 p.m. And I'll tell you what we're covering. Let's see. Ooh, guess what we're covering tomorrow? Let me see. We are covering, let's see. Ooh. Okay, how to keep your message in alignment with repurposing. And so the reason why I'm talking about this is because, guys, what happens is that when we don't have one message, we end up thinking about 5,000 things we can talk about on social media, and that gets confusing. And then we don't end up posting, or we confuse our audience, or you know how that goes. So that's what we're talking about tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central. Yes. So happy to have you guys. And yeah, so how it keeps you with your message in alignment, because that's something that's really, really, really important, that you're not confusing yourself first and your audience second. Right? So I will see you tomorrow at 7 p.m., whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Facebook, wherever you are. I love you, and thank you for tuning in. Have a good night, guys.